Hello everyone, my name is the Radman, and we are here for some more Farming Simulator 2015. Now, to start off with, we're tipping some canola. Now, as you can tell, we're making a lot of money really fast. Now, the reason for this being is there's a great demand right now for canola at the Village Grain Elevator. And yeah, I've just been doing some yeah, a lot of selling, and I'm gonna sell the rest of the canola. It's usually not a good idea to sell like everything that you have all at once, but I'm pretty sure that I'll make a lot of money, so uh, I'm just gonna really quickly sell everything and see how much money that gets us, because what I'm going to try and do then is either upgrade to a nicer tractor, one which we can use in the future for like big bales when we get enough money and uh, enough ground for that. We might just invest it back into ground, or we might consider getting like I was possibly thinking we could go into mowing, or possibly forestry, though it is quite expensive. Though that's not too bad, actually. In fact, we could almost just buy it now. But yeah, we'll decide what to do. We might also um, consider, I don't know, buying like a little corn chopper or something, because I realized there's actually a silage pit right here. So we could potentially, if this trailer supports silage, and we buy a corn head, we could, or a corn planter, I mean, not a corn head, we could actually potentially produce silage, which is one of the best things to sell in the game. Now, they've actually given it a price now, which is interesting. As you can tell, I don't have any silage right now. But yeah, so the biogas plant, you can actually tell how much you're going to be selling your silage for now, which is really cool, because I think it used to just sell it at a set price, but I know for sure that, where am I going? But I know for sure that you couldn't sell it for a variable price. Like, you couldn't tell what it was. But anyway, I'll be right back. I'm just going to show you guys how much money we make each time, and I might also consider not saving this and then reloading it just to see how much money we could have made through the other selling methods, because that's actually something that I like doing now, because it maximizes profits, and it might be a little cheaty, but I probably won't do it, because I'm pretty sure that even with the train bonus, you can't beat, let's see, 1,321. So the mill, yeah, it would be really close. But anyway, I'll be right back. Here we go. This is the second dump. Let's see. If we pay attention, it'll tell us exactly how much that sold for. Okay, good. So that sold for $19,800, so almost $20,000. I'm going to go back for another load now. This is load number 3. And hopefully we're going to still make the same amount. I'm pretty sure, though, that the more you sell, the faster the demand goes down. But we still made 19,800, so now on to load number 4. And I'm thinking we're going to get about 6 loads out of this. Here we go. This is load 4. Dump that. So, really quickly, I was just actually looking to make sure, and it looks like we're just barely going to get 5 loads. Or, I mean, we're gonna get 5 loads for sure, but we were so close to having 6 loads. And yes, it's still selling at the top price, so we'll be back for that last load. Here we go for the last load of the Great Demand. So yeah, we were at around 30,000. Oh, see, the price went down. We only made $19,400 instead of 800 euro, I guess, is what it's measured in. But yeah, it's probably a good thing that I just reset the vehicles instead of driving all the way back, because that made it so that I could keep the price high. But that also means that now I have no canola, and since I was in the middle of waiting for my crops to grow, now I will have to wait through an entire harvest before I get the chance to. Um, where are you going? You guys see this too, right? Okay, this is an interesting side effect of hooking these two machines together. I think it'll still hook up and work. Yeah, okay. I think that's just a save error. Nope. that This is determined to go away. Holy cow, it's even pulling me away. I'll fix this later. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna try folding this thing up because... What? Oh, wrong one. I keep clicking the wrong thing. Okay. G. Oh. That's X. Anyway, yeah, I've done about 10-ish harvests, by the way. Just so that you guys know. But now we get to decide what to do with the money. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our little small tractor over here, and we're going to actually go look at one of these fields across this lake, because I've been thinking about it, and I do think that buying a field would actually be the best thing, because despite the fact that I want to buy a better sewing machine, which is $52,000, and the only reason I want this one is because it gets rid of the need for a cultivator before we can seed. The only problem is, why'd I go into mods? Oh yeah, I was just gonna look real quick. We do have these pull behind choppers that we could afford, and they even have, I think they're under loading wagons. Yeah, so they even have these that we could buy for them, but again, that's gonna eat up most of the money. But I'm thinking that if we buy this over here, then we can make a lot more money, because then we can grow more crops. And the way that I really like to play the game is I like to save up as many crops as I can, and then, oh my gosh, I was only 26,000. Why not? I can always reload the save if I decide that I don't like these fields. But they're so close to each other. If I bought a plow and did in that section of road, this would actually be a good sizable field. And as you noticed, they're actually pretty darn cheap. I mean, this is clearly, I don't actually know if the prices are affected very much by the scale, but I believe we're on normal. Unless I accidentally set it to easy, but I don't think I did, because I almost ran out of money a few times, and that's really hard to do on easy. But yeah, we just bought 3 more fields, and we still have $40,000. So, I think what I'm going to do is bring over my seeder and seed these to canola, because these 3 fields alone ought to be enough. Another thing that we're going to do, actually, just because it's really annoying me, is we're going to buy this sprayer, because this has a working width of 12 meters, this has a working width of 26. Yeah, I don't like this guy, but I'm not going to sell it right away because it still has fertilizer in it, so I need to take it over to the shop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this guy. Wait one second. I'm kind of on a buying spree now because I haven't had enough money to afford anything in a while. Yeah, all the tractors are too expensive. But eventually what we're going to have to do is buy a more expensive tractor, because it's really hard to run this farm with only 2 tractors, because ideally what I want is 1 for the baler and 2 for doing the fields after the combine, which is another reason why I better slow this down actually, which is another reason why I want to change it around. I was gonna say something and then I totally spaced. What was I gonna say? Oh, that's where my seeder is. I forgot it was there. Yeah, but so what I'm thinking of doing is let's grab this. We need to make sure it's set to canola. But yeah, what I'm thinking of doing now is trying to buy the silage equipment, because it'll be really helpful. But the only problem is we need a better tractor for the silage equipment. And the actual thing that I was thinking about, not that silage, was the fact that this little tractor is a little bit underpowered for what I'm doing with it, because if I pull the baler with it, or the anything besides the seeder really, or the fertilizer spreader, is kind of too much for it, which is really annoying, because it just means that this guy gets driven around a lot more than I would sometimes like. But anyway, I need to go fertilize those fields, so I'm gonna do that. I'll probably pick up that other fertilizer spreader on camera, so that you guys can see the difference between these two, and then we'll also sell that on camera. And if we have enough money, we might even invest in a corn header, so that pretty soon we can start doing corn. Because I think in the time that it took me to do the 5 or 6 harvests that I did, there was probably 12 or 13 great demands for corn, so it is definitely worth looking to get into, because for some reason it just seems to have a higher chance of getting a great demand. I even got a great demand for silage, and I was like, that is awesome, because I didn't even know you could. But anyway, I'll be right back. There's our new seeder. Anyway, as you can tell just by getting close to it, it is massive compared to this little thing. But anyway, let's see what we can get out of this thing. It's definitely made us money for what we bought it for, but there's no use to have it. Plus, that's another $2,000 that'll go into the operating cost, because now that I added 3 fields, I have to, 1, pay for them to get seeded, then I'm going to have to pay to seed them, and then I'm going to have to pay for probably a harvest or 2, because what I like to do, by the way, is I like to try and keep all these balanced, so that whatever comes up for sale for great demand, I can just ship off a lot of it, and then I usually do 2 or 3 rotations after that with that one crop. But since we're a little bit like off of the normal rotation, why am I driving? Since we're a little bit off, it's going to take me a while to get the supply back up, and unfortunately with canola, I have no way of making extra money because no bales. And if we get over there fast enough, we should be able to see the tracks showing how much bigger of an area this can do. We'll just see how much it costs to fill up. So right now we have about 29,400. So now we're down to 28,000. 700, 600, 500. Are we gonna... Okay, so we almost used up $1,000 to fill this thing up, but it holds 3,000 fertilizer, which is a lot. Anyway, as we're driving over, we're just gonna really quickly check how much this field costs, because this field is one of the bigger fields in the area, and it'll give me a good money reference for how much the fields over that way are going to cost. But before we buy any of these fields, I'm thinking we're going to also buy that field 21. Oh my, you slid a ways. So yeah, it's about $129,000, which that is actually, I think in 2013, I think that's what just the basic fields cost. So either I'm forgetful or they've really screwed around with the cost. But anyway, so as you can see, that is one pass with the previous fertilizer spreader. Let's just see. So this would be normally, oh my gosh. And to save fertilizer, I'm just going to push it every so often, but not leave it on. Because even though it's only putting out 1 or 2, it still doesn't use up that many, which is really, really cool. But it's just, I don't do this normally because it's just kind of a pain, but let's just see how efficient this can be. So, here we go. Oh my gosh. I think this is the equivalent of 2 passes, or maybe even 2.5 with that smaller spreader. Because I don't think we're out all the way that we can be on this other side. Oh my gosh, this is going to make it so much nicer to just get the fertilizing over with. There we go. Anyway, I'm going to finish seeding this because it'll take a while. I mean, I've been playing for another 20 minutes and that's not even half done, and it's still got 2 more fields to do, so I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back. So I was going to record to the after I got done with this harvest, but actually a great demand just came up for barley, which is why I haven't done anything with any of the fields yet, like as far as cultivating them or anything, because I want to try and sell as much barley as I can. And what it is the bakery, which is actually just a little bit farther away than the grain elevator that I was selling to, got a great demand for barley. So this is why I like to have a lot of everything, because now I have over 100,000 barley, which means that I can make easily $100,000. I think, yeah, because it's selling for canola rates right now. Because you never see those type of rates with anything but canola, and usually even canola is rare to get over about 1,000. It's actually kind of rare to see canola get over 1,000, but I'm gonna have to bring over the bigger tractor to haul that though, because it's a long drive and there's a steep road. So anyway, I'm gonna skip to when I get that over there. Okay guys, here we are. We are getting to the bakery, ready to sell the first wagon load. And let's see how much it sells for, if I can drive. Okay. I'm hoping it'll be around 20,000 again, though. Yes! Instead of 19,000, slightly less than the minimum we were getting from the canola, but it's still good. And I have another barley farm actually over here, so but I'll have to speed up time to harvest it, so the price will be able to drop down a little bit in that time, which is why I'm selling everything at the house first. And then as I harvest this field, I can just truck it over, and I'll probably just bite the bullet and hire a worker for that at that point, because I want to get as much barley as fast as possible, because, you know, I was kind of worrying, how am I going to keep this operation afloat, where I just planted 2 huge canola fields, you know, with basically my supply. My problem is, even when I have 40,000, canola, especially the more fields you have, the more costly it is to maintain them. And there's a certain point where bales only lessen the damage, they don't actually stop it. But anyway, we're gonna skip ahead to the second unload, and I need to actually find a better path to it because it took way too long to get there the first time. But I think I know a good one now. Here, oops. I went to press record and accidentally unhooked the wagon, but here we are for the second unload. Come on, get me up to 60,000, please. Yes, 60,000. Okay, now we'll be right back with the next one. Okay, now we're just pulling in for the third drop off, and we've still got probably around 50,000 left at home in the silos. And this is kind of how I was hoping season 1 would go, is I would do a little bit of off camera and then the great demands would be able to make a lot of money, but for some reason we never got that many great demands, so it was really hard to actually make money. And the way that I've been going about this, by the way, is I wish I could like move my mouse on the screen. I'm not sure if this is going to mess up the recording, but basically I just go like this. I really hope that didn't mess up the recording. Okay, here we are for the fourth dump, I think. Yeah, I think this is the fourth. Hopefully the third one didn't get corrupted, because I kind of, I don't know, I hope you guys could see it, but I kind of tried to show you guys the route I was taking on the map. But that might have not done a good thing, because I kind of tabbed out of the window I was in. But anyway, on to the fifth one. Here we are for the fifth dump. I believe we're going to get about 7 from this total. And I was looking over at our field that was growing, and it's actually ready. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hire a worker to harvest it, because I need to do this all really quickly. And then I'm just going to use my monitor, that little monitor there, and I've only got about 30,000 left at the in the silos, so I'm gonna try and really quickly run one more load up before the combine fills up. Here we are for the 6th unloading, and immediately after this I'm gonna have to run over to the combine, because it is it's gonna be full by the time I get over there. But we might actually have enough to consider buying new equipment. Oh no. I say that as I totally screw that up. Anyway, I'm gonna go get full from the combine, and then I'll run back up here. So, this entire load, which I believe is either our 6th or 7th load, actually all came from the combine, and by the time I run back to it, it's going to be full again. So including the combine, we're going to do between 7 and 8 loads total, and we might actually make it to $200,000. Oh no, we'll only make it to just shy of 200,000 at most. Anyway, I'll be right back after I run over there real quick. Here we are for another unload, and this is going to be the last full load. I think we'll have about 12,000 left that we can get, but this is the last actual full load. And then that made us, ooh, only 10,000. We might not actually be selling anymore. If we're only selling for 10,000, wait a second. It's still 1,303. What's the deal? I'm selling it right here. That's weird. Okay, I was remembering wrong. 20,000 comes from a different thing. Duh. Anyway, so yeah, we're just going to really quickly get the very last load, and I kind of lost count. I think I did about 13 of them, and then I'll have to harvest over here, But before I do that, I kind of want to spend this money because uh, if I can, I want to make it easier to do like the replanting and stuff. So first off, I'm gonna save because I don't want to do something and then discover that I've made like a terrible mistake. Like for instance, if I buy the new planter, I don't want to all of a sudden find out that was a terrible idea because I can't even use it with my tractors right now. And I'm just kind of thinking about the fact that if we want to do silage, we will need a front loader. But they're relatively cheap compared to other tractors, so I don't think we have to worry about that too much. Those are still out of our price range. A new combine, unless we just bought another small combine, is way out of our price range, actually, if we want to stick with ones um, from this pack. That's not where the there it is, 38,000 for that. Don't know why I'm looking at that. I have kind of thought about getting into potatoes and sugar beets maybe, but they're kind of a royal pain in the butt to do, so I don't really want to mess with them. I am considering just buying one of these trailers because that has 21,000, and I got a modded trailer that holds 15,500, so we could offload it into the other one or get this one which holds 11,000. But yeah, that's just possibilities. I also kind of have to just balance out price and what I'm willing to pay for it because yeah. And then another thing I was thinking we could maybe do is get one of these, but then I remembered that I got rid of most of the cheap tractors because they were having a lot of issues. Like they were really screwy, so I got rid of most of them. And this is probably going to be the end of the episode when we decide what to do, which is why I'm trying to be a little more decisive about this than I usually am. Um, Wait 1 second. I'm trying to remember. I thought there was a little combine that might be affordable. I guess we could buy this, but it only holds 2,000. So yeah, all the good combines are too expensive. And I do have mods of these, but that's for like later expansions, not for right now. It's for more end game. Let's just really quickly look at plows, because if we want to create new fields, we will. If we want to merge those two fields, we will need a plow. The most expensive one is that plow, but I don't really need it right now. I mean, I'm doing fine without it for now. So, what I'm actually thinking is, since I'm looking at most of this, and most of this we either don't need or we already have, like we don't need manure spreaders or slurry tankers. The mower, the only problem that I realized is you can make money off of the grass, but you make a lot more money off the grass if you sell it as a silage bale, which means that you bale it and then wrap it. You either bale it as a square bale and wrap that, because I have a few mods for that, or you bale it as a round bale and use the in-game wrapper. So we're not going to be doing grass. That's a terrible idea because I realized you have to have a powerful tractor to haul the balers that make the size of bales required for those mods. So not going to do that. I don't want to do cows right now because I don't have a proper silage set up. This is not useful because I just don't have big enough. So what we're basically down to is we're either going to get into forestry, which would basically at this point just be hauling around small logs and trying to make that work with a really small tractor, which could be a very bad idea. Or, which is what I'm thinking about doing, is buying this tractor with its loader and its silage bucket. I said silage bucket. There it is, universal bucket, or silage cutters. Yeah, I don't really know what the difference is. I mean, I think they can both haul silage. Yeah, they can. I don't know, honestly, why you'd pay for this one over this one. I mean, this one holds more and it's less expensive. But there must be a reason, I guess. Unless the New Holland one can't use Stoll, but that would be so stupid I couldn't even describe. But anyway, let's see actually how much corn will cost to get into. Now, the only problem is I've realized you need 150 horsepower, and I don't think any of our tractors have 150 horsepower. 121 and 75. Yeah, none of them have 150. And yeah, we need a really high-end tractor to get 150. But I think what we're going to do anyway is we're going to buy this tractor because we'll need it eventually, because even if I can't use it right this second, it will be something I can use. Because there are actually, if I buy this bale spike or the pallet fork, I guess the bale spike can function as a pallet fork. But yeah, oh, there's the pallet fork. So if I buy this pallet fork and this, there are actually a lot of missions that I can do to earn extra money. So it's still a win-win either way. Now I guess the other thing that we got to decide is, do we use this or, I've been thinking about it, and I could probably go find the little self-propelled harvester that's cheap, but they're kind of cheaty because, they are, you wouldn't actually very well use them. But that's still 23,000. So I think what we're going to do is I want to invest my money wisely. So I haven't invested anything that has to be corn, but I want this planter. I want this planter, and I know I want that planter, but I also want this header for our thing, but that'll only leave me with $6,000, and while I'll make back a few thousand, it won't be near enough. So I'm not going to buy this corn header. I'm going to wait for another great demand, because I have enough money at this point where I can keep this farm running. And I was going to say I could buy a little planter, this little guy. It's only 15,000, but it can plant corn, which is the important thing. But that means that I would have to keep around a cultivator, and I don't want to keep around a cultivator. But the only issue is, wait just a second. Okay, that's 3 and 6. This looks smaller for some reason on my screen. I could just buy this actually. It's only 12,000. But anyway, we're going to leave that off at this episode. I'm just going to really quickly reset this vehicle so we can look at it. And I'm not actually really sure how long this episode's going to be at this point, because I don't have any way of measuring it really, because there's so many of these. What have you done? I really hope that'll still hook on, because that would stink if I couldn't hook this on. But yeah, hopefully... Oh, there we go. Hopefully we'll get back to using like the peripherals and everything in a little bit. It's just that for right now, it's easier for me to just not use them, because I have like school and stuff right now. And yeah, I guess this guy could this guy could actually be a little utility tractor. We'll just unhook this for now and have that actually stand up. So yeah, now we basically have a new utility tractor, and I think this guy, he might actually be maybe powerful enough to pull this planter. But what this planter will allow us to do, if this guy can pull it, that is it will allow us to what's called direct seeding. So I'll just go... Oh, I thought there was one of these where I accidentally took out some of the hay. But anyway, we'll go right on the edge of it just to show you what this does. Is if I hire the worker and it doesn't get mad at me, and we stop so it doesn't destroy any of our stuff, you can see it's actually, you can tell the difference. This has stubble on it, this does not. So it's actually directly seeding. Now it is a little bit more, it's actually a little less expensive, because even though you pay for the seed right out of the bat, which you do with the other planter anyway, you still get the benefit of it. And I can't remember, these can't plant corn. Okay, that's what I thought. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replant half barley, half canola, kind of like I did last time. But yeah, I'm going to get the fields baled so I can go bail out, so I can get this guy running. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. My name is the Radman, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.